Good evening, welcome to my channel. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your wonderful feedback. So far, so good. And we have been, as a project, we have been 3 weeks actually. We started this channel. We started 10 years ago, but the channel has been very inactive, and I'm happy to say that we are now back on track. 3 weeks since the last week of December, we decided to do a project. Now we are doing video. We are new. 3 weeks, and the feedback is good, and we are positive. We are few, but my expectation is to improve on the materials. We started off with the cost of living. Um, if you watch the rest of the videos, you'll find where we have actually spoken about the cost of living as a crisis, and also as a situation, a policy situation where governments, the UK government in particular, where I live in London, in England, and the UK government is now trying its best to help people who need help, and to give a picture of what the cost of living and the government policy attempting to address the issue as a crisis, as a policy issue. I decided to look more broadly at the cost of living, and I decided to actually illustrate the cost of living as actually a reality of life, something which happens to everyone on a daily basis in Britain, in Europe, in developed countries, in developing countries in Africa. And as a crisis, actually a policy issue and also a political one. And in the process of doing that, I know many people haven't been watching my video, but I believe they will be catching up to watch whatever we have been publishing. I decided to talk broadly about the public sector, and I will continue to speak about the public sector as we go along. And the public sector is actually the background, the backbone of the welfare state. The welfare state is the backbone of the things like the welfare benefit. The welfare benefit is the backbone of the help we get with the cost of living. And going forward, I will attempt to be more specific, but I will try still to go back and forth, looking broadly and also being specific as we move forward. And one of the feedback still, some people are advising me to make the video short. I know people are very busy, they're trying to do their own things. I am trying to do my own things, and we are all trying to use this video channel for different reasons. Mine is to promote freedom of speech, and also to promote exchange of information, and also to promote the culture of the social media, because I believe we are moving away from the traditional platforms to the digital platform and the digital economy. And the sooner people realize that digital system, digital economy is here to stay, everything is moving, it's going digital anyway. If you're going to sell, if you're going to buy, if you're going to lead, if you're going to run a country, um, we need to really get used to the social media, especially the social media, the internet, technology. I've said in my last videos, I made a very bold statement to the effect that to declare that what has been the public sector, which actually developed in places like Britain and across the globe, the public sector is closing down, and also the social sector which is actually part of the public sector. The public sector was set by the government to help people who cannot help themselves. In this country and across the globe, people who cannot help themselves are actually those who work for a living. If you work for a living, you should be happy for yourself because you are going to be going through changes. There will be no work because technology is going to take work. Maybe in the next 50 to 100 years, we will begin to feel the effect of joblessness. And now we should be in a position to see that these things are actually changing and society is changing. If you're finding it now difficult in your place of work, if you're finding it difficult finding a job, if you find it difficult experiencing work stability and pay stability, if your employer is giving you more work than you feel is actually necessary, if you feel you're being paid late, if you feel you're being paid less, sometimes you have issues with employment where employees don't get really paid on time. And some employers, especially small and medium business, but also big businesses, because most of them are becoming private now. The public sector is now closing down. What is left now is actually the residue. What is now is the government is trying to tie it up. So that means dependency on the state is coming to an end, which means dependency of the person, the individual, dependency on the family, dependency on society, building community is going to be the way forward to deal with day-to-day experience, building relationships, which is, I think, it's a good thing, except that when you are not part of the wealth economy, where the rich will have really advantage under the new system, which is actually the global system is operating under something called globalization. It's by design. The government is moving away from the old system. The public sector is going to the private sector, and the private sector is about creating wealth, and we have done very well as the global community to create wealth. And therefore, if you're going to want to access wealth, you have to start to think of doing business. Doing business, actually starting your own project, commercial project, where you buy and sell, or you produce and sell. Need to know what customer service is. You need to know what products means. What if you're good at buying things, be a buyer. If you're good at selling things, be a seller. If you can find a friend, or maybe a wife or husband, or your children, if you spot a child who is good at buying things, buying clothes for herself, buying clothes for her parents, for your friends, she has the talent of being a good buyer. Perhaps you may want to change that into business. She can buy things for our parents, our parents and our sisters, our siblings, or his siblings can pay him. That is his business. You charge your parents, you charge your relatives, your friends. You shop for them. They buy you because you look at them, you maybe measure them, and what do? You buy things for them. This may sound crazy, but business is business. That's what. If you live in the UK, the way I haven't really done a study on Richard Branson of Virgin. I think Virgin Atlantic. If you leave your Johnson, Richard Branson, the way I had his rumors. So if I want to know the truth, I have to do a study on Richard Branson. What I heard, when he was still young, he used to sell his things. I mean, if instead of throwing his shoes or clothes away, or his gadgets, or his bicycle, he used to sell it to his friends. You should even sell something to his family. I mean, if you know the story of Richard Branson, he's one of the multi-billionaire in the UK now. And I was also told he was a college dropout. He didn't go to uni. If you think it is right, then leave a comment below and let me know. And also, before we go, can you subscribe for my channel? Really, it makes me very happy. We are new, and we are getting a lot of support. Subscription is free. It takes seconds. And also leave a comment, and we'll be going forward. I will be doing a video on comments. I've already done 2 videos based on feedback from people, but every time I come to do a video, I actually think about what people told me, and then I give a feedback. There is so much to do, and perhaps so little time to do it in, but I will try to be as consistent as trying also to improve on the presentation, improving on the equipment. I'm still using my mobile phone, and I'm still struggling with memory. I have spoken to 1 or 2 people. I'm waiting for them. I hope not forever. And I will be actually adding things here and there. I'm learning to do editing, using certain good things, like improving the quality of the pictures, improving the quality of the sound, and I'm also looking at how to use a camera. All things, old man, and that's the nature of YouTube. That's the beauty of it, because you become a presenter, you become a researcher, you become a writer, become a speaker, a teacher, a consultant. You become a technician. You have to do everything yourself. It's quite good, because it suits individuals. Consistent with capitalism, because capitalism actually take account of individuals. The society is composed of individuals, and the individual actually improve himself, add value to his work and to his product. You can set up a business in your sitting room, and it is exciting. It's a case of really, getting customers. I've been speaking to people on the phone. I know I'm digressing a little bit. I like to do that, because all these are actually consistent with the cost of living and the support available with the cost of living. Because what I'm trying to develop as an idea, the government is actually giving help, but the help the government gives is not enough. And it's getting harder and harder to access. Well, in the UK, I'm talking about the UK. I'm also trying to let you know that whatever is happening in the UK is also happening around the world. And because of globalization is talking about harmonization. Harmonization is that things which are in the UK are similar to things which are actually outside the UK, similar to things which are in Europe, Africa. The same, people are doing business, and people are actually still depending on the state. Don't get me wrong. The state is going to be there for maybe 100 or 200 years, but the nature of the state is going to change. When I say the state, I mean the public sector as an economy. It will be changing. Whether it is going to be good or bad, we individuals, we the people, we need to adapt to changes. I mean, the best way to survive in life is actually to adjust, to adapt. Any species, including human, if you don't adapt to changes, you're going to die. You will go extinct. You heard the story of the dinosaurs. But I know very little about it. If you know anything about the dinosaurs, please leave a comment below and let me know what you know about the dinosaur. They went extinct, or the dodo. The dodo is like a bird. It's some kind of bird. They went extinct when you don't really, if you can't survive, like in the Darwinian economy, survival of the fittest. Make sure you actually look after yourself. Respect yourself. Respect your property. If you have a cloth, wash it, clean it, iron it, love it. Love yourself. Respect other people. Don't be nasty to people. Be nice. respect other people. This is actually what I decided to term the cultural economy. It's my terminology. I created it. I kind of like what is it? I what's the word? I coined it. I coined that terminology, the cultural economy. Economy means development. Culture means the way people live, the product of learning, the product of education, what your mother and your father teaches you at home, what your siblings and teaches you, what you learn in school, at work, in society, in life. That forms your character, your mentality, and the collection of those from culture. And culture is what brings peace. A combination of culture, the human element of progress, which is what culture is. The human element bring, if you combine them with the development, the economic and the wealth, the material perspective aspect of progress, this brings peace. But in my reasoning, in my observation, as a society, we have done well along the plane of wealth. We have a lot of wealth. We need to distribute it, and the way wealth is going to be distributed is by individuals investing in business. If you have a skill, turn it into a trade. If you know something in your head, if you can do a research, and you can now do a research even if you don't. I mean, if even you only studied up to senior 4, secondary school, GCSE, O level, A level, you didn't go to university. You can now become a consultant, even without going to the university. You can actually decide to do independent learning and do accreditation with an institution. Maybe pay a couple of things here and there. You can be a professor by watching YouTube. Forget about my YouTube for a minute, but there are so many wonderful materials there, professionally done. So part of my strategy now is to work with technical people who actually have time. I will have to interview them so that, or encourage them to even do videos so that my channel become more valuable, providing information, providing learning. It doesn't have to be a training class. You just do your own research. You listen to videos. If you want to be a mathematician, if you want to be a linguist, to learn English, Swahili, Italian, French, you come to the YouTube. You want to learn diet, how to cook, with the cost of living now. I mean, if people cook, you used not to cook, you used to get takeaway. The cost of living, you have to start learning how to cook. So, cookery program on YouTube is the best. Maybe one day I'll speak to people who know how to cook in my community and actually get them to teach you how to cook African food. And maybe whatever food, I can speak to people who are not Africans, English, white people, if I can get them on my channel, and I will talk to them. They will show you how to prepare breakfast, how to prepare lunch, supper. It saves you money. I don't know how much it's going to save you, but significantly saving money. It's going to be even healthier food, and it will complement your health. When you walk to go and buy ingredients, when you walk to go to the park, you can go and have a walk in the park, improving your health, reducing stress because of the cost of living. It's part of the complementary medicine. You drink water, you eat healthy, you cook your food, you save money. And there are some things you will never save from. That is the gas. The gas cost in Europe, in the UK where I live, the cost of gas is really, really, really insane. And we're trying to see how I will be talking to you about help given to by the government, and I'll be looking at some materials and trying to make sure we are actually talking about the cost of living as much as we can. And I'm going to try and go through certain material. I've gone through some of them before. And we are 19 minutes. Let me see what this is all about. But before I leave this video, what I want you to say is that what I want to say is we are making changes. We are leaving what used to be socialism. This is politics. We are leaving socialism and joining capitalism. Capitalism is the way to go. We are not going to turn back the clock. The politicians may tell you otherwise. And listen to them, because they're trying to deal with practical political problems. Listen to them. They're very important to us. They are there to help us. But, change is change. We have changed. Society has changed. We are actually capitalist globe. We used to think Africa was going to be a socialist state. Some people still think socialism is going to work. I'm not saying socialism is a bad thing. I'm not saying it doesn't work. But the reality is that the globe has decided to go capitalist. Which simply means you focus on the individual. It means you focus on the market system. You buy and sell. That's what it is. Trade, which is actually good. There is going to be a lot of wealth. But something else I have spoken about is technology. Technology is going to be building free things in the future. Maybe with 150 years, it will be fully functioning. But right now, things may improve if the government actually succeeds, as politicians succeed to stabilize the family, society, and things like that. Technology will begin producing goods and services at a cheaper rate, and they're going to take jobs away from human capital, like professionals. Maybe we will still remain with people like medical doctors, maybe lawyers, but not even lawyers, because things like lie detector is being developed. Law is about evidence. So if you can we use in legal terms, we use the law to get to the truth, and we use evidence as a mechanism to legal reasoning, legal arguments, adducing evidence. All these are actually to get to the truth. If machine can detect that you are lying or you're telling the truth, then we are going to have a new society where the law will be administered by the machine. I mean, you come and sit before a machine. I don't know if that machine is there, but it's possible there might be. I really don't know. If there is such a machine now, and we're going to have a really, really interesting set of circumstances, because we're going to have a situation where you go to court and there will be no judge. There will be nobody there. There will be no any legal clerk. You will actually go to maybe a computer or just a machine and sit. And the machine will ask you questions and you will answer. If you fail the test, it means you are lying. It means you are guilty. Then robot will be the police robot police will come and arrest you and caution you. You will not see a human being. You just go into a room, that will be your court, like a small room like that. This is my imagination. It's bordering on science fiction. But these things are coming. We have lie detector test now. It's just a matter of time. It's going to open, don't worry. You will go into a room and find a medical doctor, which is actually a machine. You will not even see. You can go into a virtual space, and the machine can do diagnosis. They can recommend medication, more advanced, more even with nanotechnology and things like that. It's coming. It's going to come, and so many treatments, improvements with machine, with technology. That is now the plan, which is actually good. It is hope to achieve actually the scientific, the engineering, the technology side, the economic, the wealth. The economy will actually shut down. We are shutting down the public sector. That's number one. It's already shut. Number two, we will start shutting down the small and medium business, because the public sector is wasteful. It wastes money. It wastes resources. we have now settled that argument. The public sector is wasteful. It doesn't matter whether it is wasteful or not. That is what we have decided. We don't want to waste resources. We want to be efficient. So we decided to close down the public sector. The second thing we are going to close down is the small and medium businesses because they are also wasteful. Corporations, big businesses will be the ones remaining to run the economy because they are more efficient. They don't waste. Economy is about cutting down waste because economy is about the private sector is about maximizing profit. If you are doing economics, if you are doing business, if you are investing, what you're trying to do, you are trying to make money, and that's it. You make money, and that is settled. It's sorted. If you do your business effectively, if you're a family, if you're a community in the developed world, in the West, in the East, in the Middle East, in Africa, if you do business well, you're going to succeed because there is a lot of knowledge, there is a lot of technological capabilities, there's a lot of skills, financial skills. There are so many accountants, lawyers, economists, business analysts, computer experts. They are there. And if you can afford them, if you can probably access them, if you are a member of your family can give maybe a little bit of their time to help you build your business within the sector, health sector, for example, we are getting from the public provision of health, the private provision of health. We are doing that through mechanisms like health and social care. We used to have a department for health and health department within the civil service. Now we have changed the department. We now call it health and social care. The Secretary of State, the most senior cabinet minister, actually probably cabinet minister anyway. Secretary of State is the cabinet minister. Other senior ministers may be in the cabinet, but they're not cabinet ministers. The chief secretary of the treasury in the UK, which is actually one of the senior officers of the finance offices. The chief secretary to the treasury's role was actually like a deputy chancellor of the exchequer. He used to be a cabinet officer, but I think he's now stopped. The only cabinet offices are now secretary of states in the UK. And we have them in the House of Commons, we have them in the House of Lords. If you hear a minister being referred to as Secretary of State, that is a cabinet minister. And they are members of the Privy Council also. It means they give advice to the king, to the royal family, and to certain individuals. And this is actually the government setup. And these are now changing. We are moving from there. We are going to the private sector, the corporation, and it is happening. It may be like you may not notice it, but we will start feeling that you're going to get less and less help from the government. That's what I've all been saying, and it is exciting period. It's going to be challenging. Some people might even die in the process. People are getting so stressed because people are not prepared. Somehow, I'm happy that we are using the internet now and the social media like this YouTube to get information and to form communities and to try and work things out. I think it's going to work. But the change there, that's what caused the cost of living. That's why the cost of living is there. And that's why people are also struggling to get help because the system has changed. The main reason the cost of living occurred because the government has changed. Yeah, there's no funding, not enough funding for the public sector. The best way to close the public sector down is actually not funded effectively. It's a strategy. I'm not talking about conspiracy. There's a strategy, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt about 80 to maybe 90% of the population, people who work for a living, because some people will start losing their jobs anyway. There aren't going to be work. Eventually, there probably won't even be work at all because the machine will take over. Like I said before, And we have to find ways of accessing wealth, really accessing wealth. Either when if we still have the economy, because what I'm trying to say is that we have closed down the public sector. We are going to close down medium and small businesses, and we're going to be left with corporations. The corporation will also be shutting down. We'll probably across the globe we'll probably have 4 or 5 big mega big corporations running the global economy. This is when we create the global village. I don't know when this is going to happen. Maybe within 50 years or 100 years, we begin to start seeing this happening. Then trade will diminish as technology grows, because technology will be producing goods for free. If you don't sell and buy, the economy is irrelevant. Because, I mean, people just get things. People just access service through the machine. That is going to happen. It is happening now. You know, there are things we do now with technology which we could never dream of, you know, just a few decades ago. And this is what is happening with, that's what globalization means. What I've been trying to do is actually, I've been trying to explain to you what globalization is. You can understand it in different ways. You can do a research, but you will come back to what I'm talking about in the end. Maybe you can understand it. Your experience of learning about globalization, because like you will be learning about globalization all the times, because things are changing all the times. Even professors will have to be reading to update their knowledge about globalization all the time, because it's happening very fast because of technology. Especially technology is so fast, it's moving so quickly, and also accessing information like we do in the internet, on the social media. The more information you have, the more knowledge you have, the faster you think, the faster you act, the more organized, hopefully, and the more resilient, the more competitive, the more contributing you are going to contribute more to the family, to the community. But remember, the society is going private, and that is exciting. We will use what is left of the public sector, but let us begin to ease out gently towards investment, and hopefully, you know, just leave a comment, do a research if you have time, you know, do a video, even maybe send it to me, I will publish it. If you know anything about investment, if you're an accountant, if you're an investment analyst, you know, or consultant, do what you want to do. Do what you can. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to record the next one with some specific help within the UK, within England. What is in England is in Wales, Scotland, in Northern Ireland. I actually touched a little bit on this when I did the other videos, but I will be also going back and forth, talking about politics. This video has been about politics, the politics of the cost of living. The next one is going to be about the policy and administration involving the cost of living, involving the kind of help which is available within the local authority. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.